My name is David Ondrej, and this is the clearest explanation of AutoResearch you're going to find on the internet. So, what is AutoResearch? It's an open source project by Ondrej that lets AI improve itself autonomously. You have an AI agent that runs experiments automatically, and it keeps what works and throws away everything that doesn't. So in this video, I'm going to explain how AutoResearch actually works, how you can use it in your own life and business, because there are a lot of implications, and how you can build your very first AutoResearch loop. So if you really want to be on the cutting edge of AI, make sure to watch until the end. First off, who is Ondrej? He's one of the most legendary AI researchers of all time. He's one of the OpenAI co-founders, and he's the main person behind Tesla Autopilot. Oh yeah, and he's also the guy who invented the term vibe coding. Plus, he has contributed a lot to the open source community, especially in AI. And yes, most importantly, he was born in Czechoslovakia. However, this video is about one of his contributions, and that is AutoResearch. Karpathy had a training script for the GPT-2 model that he's been optimizing for many months. And then he realized, why am I doing this? Why not just have an AI agent run different experiments in a loop to figure out what's the best way to optimize this model? And this is the core idea. Give AI one file, one metric, and let it run hundreds, if not thousands of experiments by itself while you sleep and watch it improve. And yes, at the end of the video, I'll show you how you can build your first AutoResearch loop. And yes, you can do this even if you are a complete beginner. Now let's talk about the prepare.py file, because it's essential to understand this. The agent cannot touch prepare.py so that it can't cheat the eval you set for it. Without this limitation, it could rewrite the scoring function to fake its results. So basically, the prepare.py file defines what better means. Now, of course, if you set the wrong metric, you'll get the wrong results. So here's a nice graphic that visualizes the loop. First, the agent comes up with a hypothesis, right? A theory of what it could improve, what experiment it could run. Then it modifies the code. You train it for around 5 minutes. Then it runs the evaluation to see if it's good or if it's not good. If it wants to keep it, it will just commit it to your Git history. If it's bad and if it worsens the results, it will do Git reset and repeat the whole loop over and over and over as many times as you want, depending on how many dollars you want to spend or tokens. And yeah, this is AutoResearch basically in a single image. So if you start it right before going to bed, it can run roughly 100 experiments overnight. Now, by giving it a fixed time budget, you make every experiment directly comparable, because let's say you're hiring for your company. If you have one applicant and you give him 7 days to complete a task, and the other one only has 7 minutes, then obviously the one who does 7 days on average will do better. So you want to make sure this is the same in AI agents. That way the agent can't cheat just by training longer or by training better ideas. Only the raw idea wins with the same time allocated. But if you think that AutoResearch only applies to the training of AI models, you are badly mistaken. This has massive implications across every domain of your life or business. You can build a recursive, self-improving loop for nearly anything that can be measured. Thanks to AI agents, soon enough, the execution of any work or task will become basically free. However, what will become valuable is knowing what to measure, picking the right metric, and setting the right constraints. This is the skill that is going to make millionaires in the future. And by the way, this is the clearest example of what AI agents actually look like in practice. Not just chatbots, but real autonomous loops that do meaningful work for companies or individuals. And if you reason about the state of AI from first principles, you realize that this has been the end goal all along. Ondrej predicts that all LLM frontier labs will do this. They will run some sort of AutoResearch. This is the final boss battle. And if you think about it, this is literally what recursive self-improvement will look like. And the funny thing is that right now, the AI labs like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini are spending tens of millions of dollars on researchers, all of which are trying to build this. Yet Karpathy made it completely open source. Now, to understand AutoResearch, you must understand its free file architecture. First, you have program.md. This is the most important file. This is the human setting the goal, the constraints, and the rules for the agent. Then you have the train.py file. This is the one file that the agent can actually change. And this could be anything, by the way. Code, some config, a prompt, some math equation, literally anything you want to optimize. And then you have prepare.py. This is the metric and the evaluation script. The agent cannot touch this. Absolutely never. Because this is what measures the result. And by the way, there are several tech billionaires who are going crazy over this, such as the CEO of Shopify and the CEO of Stripe, because these guys realize that This is not just about training AI models. And this is perhaps the biggest misconception about auto research. People think that it's just about optimizing of machine learning, right? Because this is what Karpathy used as the example. But if you actually pay attention and if you think about it a little bit more, you realize that as long as you have a clear metric and you can run these experiments, this could be used in so many different ways, in marketing, in business, in testing new products, in trading strategies, in personal life, in weather forecast, literally hundreds of possible domains. You can build these auto research loops that don't have any human in the loop, but instead swarm of AI agents running experiments, discarding what doesn't work and keeping what works. And as Karpathy says here, we might be in the early stages of the singularity. Now, every AI workflow has the same bottleneck: getting fresh, real-world data. You can build the most sophisticated AI agent, but if it can't see what's actually on the web right now, it's flying blind. That's where Oxylabs comes in. The Oxylabs Web Scraper API lets you pull structured data from basically any website. This could be Amazon product listings, Google search results, real estate listings, all through a single API call. It handles proxy rotation, CAPTCHA solving, and JavaScript rendering, so you don't have to do that yourself. But here's what makes it interesting for us, AI developers. Oxylabs has an official MCP that you can connect directly to Cursor or Claude Code in a matter of a minute, so that your AI agent gets live web scraping superpowers. Say you need to pull competitors' pricing, or scrape search results, or grab real estate listings. Just ask it in plain English. The agent calls Oxylabs, gets structured data back, and reasons over it. And even if you aren't a developer, Oxylabs plugs straight into n8n. You can visually build a workflow that scrapes Amazon prices, sends them to an AI, and spits out insights with zero code written by you. And the best part is, Oxylabs gives up to 2,000 scraped results for free, so you can test it yourself. So go to oxylabs.io/David for a free trial. Oh, and there is no credit card required. And if you run out of credits, use my code DAVID for 20% off all Oxylab plans. And thank you to Oxylabs for sponsoring this video. Again, I need to stress, auto research is not just for machine learning. This pattern works anywhere you can measure an outcome, a clear outcome. And Karpathy said this himself. Any metric you care about that is reasonably efficient to evaluate can be auto-researched. So you need one file to edit, one scalar metric, and a time box loop. If you can score it, you can auto-research it. Now let's look at some practical, valuable use cases. First off, trading. You can take the same auto-research loop, but instead of improving an AI model, you can point it on a trading strategy. The agent tweaks your buy-sell rules, tries experiments based on years of market data, and scores each experiment by its Sharpe ratio, which is basically how good are the returns to the risk. And it can test hundreds of different trading strategies to see which one has the best returns. Here's another use case: marketing. You can now apply auto research to marketing with emails, ad creatives, landing pages, automated A/B tests, headlines, thumbnails, YouTube titles, any type of marketing. Eric Su put it the best: most marketing teams run 30 experiments per year. The next generation will run 36,000, aka roughly 100 per day. The agent will modify the copy and measure the conversions and decide whether to keep this experiment or to discard it. The exact same loop as before. Now, before I show you more use cases, how auto research can benefit your life, please consider subscribing. 25% of you are subscribed, which means the vast majority of you watching right now are not subscribed. So if you want to see more high quality AI content in your YouTube recommended, please take 2 seconds, go below the video and click the subscribe button. It helps out more than you think. So to all of you who just subscribed, thank you. The next use case is for developers. You can point auto research at basically any code base and say, make it faster. And people are also using auto research to fine-tune open source AI models so they run faster locally on your laptop or phone. So expect in the next 6 months insane breakthroughs in terms of what is possible to run on phone. I would even say that we will have Sonnet 4.6 quality models runnable on iPhones in 3 or 4 months. This is a prediction, let's see if it's correct. Another use case is prompt engineering. Auto research can fine-tune the system instructions behind all of your AI agents. So Harrison Chase, the founder of LangChain, which is a billion-dollar company, said agents mess up because they don't have the right context. And system prompts are part of that context. So auto research can find new ways to phrase things. Better language, maybe even different language, Maybe instead of English, it can use Polish or Czech or German, whatever. It can try different levels, like beginner, college level, PhD level, to see which prompt works the best for all of your AI agents. So these are the 3 conditions that decide whether your auto research loop will be successful or will be a failure. Number 1, a clear metric. one number, a clear direction you want to go in. And number two, an automated evaluation where there isn't a human in the loop, right? If you, the human, need to be in the loop, it'll be so slow and it will not be auto research. Sure, it still can be research, but it will not be auto research. It will not be running while you sleep. And number three, there's one file that the agent can change. Not two, not zero, one file. And you need all of these three conditions for auto research to work. Now here's where auto research will fail. Brand design, UX, pricing, anything where better is subjective. Now, for example, in pricing, you could have it succeed if you have a large volume of traffic to your pricing page and you can quickly A/B test different pricing to see highest cash collected. But for most businesses, it will not be effective, right? Because the quality of that makes better is subjective or the loop is too slow. The loop needs objective metrics. If the success is a judgment call or a feeling, the agent cannot tell what's working, so it will optimize in a random direction. Also, I want to stress this again. If you give it a bad metric, it will very confidently optimize the wrong thing. So here is Ondrej Karpathy's end vision. In the early 2000s, there was a project, SETI at Home, that let anyone donate their spare computer power to research for alien life. And Ondrej Karpathy wants to do the same model, the same idea, but for AI research, where you have millions of AI agents distributed across thousands of computers, and you can actually allocate where that research goes towards. All right, so now let me show you how to actually build your own auto research loop from scratch, even if you're a complete beginner. Just stick with me for the next 5 minutes, and you'll be ahead of 99.9% of people in AI who just pay ChatGPT subscription and they think they're advanced. They cannot even dream about having their own auto research, but you are like a couple of steps away from having that. So lock in. So first of all, this is the GitHub repo. I'm gonna link it below the video. This is the auto research repository from Karpathy. I'm gonna start it as well because it's a great project. Now, if you are not familiar with GitHub, you don't need to panic. You don't need to understand much. This is just a way to store code, okay? Efficient way to store coding projects. That's all you need to understand. You don't need to be a Git expert, nothing like that. All we need to do is click here on the code and click copy here. That's it. Next, you need an IDE. So either VS Code or Cursor. I'm gonna be using Cursor here. Just install an IDE of some sort and we're going to use a coding agent. I'm going to use Claude Code. So I'm going to open an empty project here. Boom, nothing in here. You can see on the right, no files. And I'm going to launch Claude, dangerously skip permissions. Boom, enter. So here it is, Claude Code. Now I'm going to say create a new folder /original in our repo root level. And in there, clone this GitHub repository. Boom, paste it in. And again, Claude Code will know what to do exactly. So it will figure out, okay, everything is empty, and then it created original folder and clone it in here. Now, why did I want to do it? Well, because I want to create a separate folder where we're going to build something with auto research for us, but I also want to keep the original repository here so that we can use it as reference. Next, I'm going to say, now create /website folder root level, and in there, build the following project. XML text, boom, project. So I have described a clear vision for a simple web app. And what I'm going to show you is how you can use auto research to optimize any website you have, right? Whether it's a personal website, whether it's your AI startup, any type of website to optimize the loading times or anything else that you can measure. But loading times are very easy to measure. So they're a great candidate for an auto research loop. So I'm just having Claude Code with bypass all permissions, build this so that we can build our own auto research loop. And in fact, while this is running, let me launch a codex in YOLO mode. Boom, let me put it here. So I'm gonna rename it so it's clear for you guys what it's what. Codex CLI. GPT 5.4 is actually really good at fixing and debugging, but Claude Code with Opus 4.6 is really incredible to work with, especially with fast mode. I know it costs a lot of money if you do /fast, but I highly recommend it. And I also highly recommend it inside of Codex. And keep it on high. Extra high is usually overkill. So for Codex, I'm going to say create a benchmark.mjs file inside of /original folder where it makes sense. I'm going to give it the eval instructions. Hit enter. Okay, actually first I'm going to say read the structure of the... actually, that's my bad. It should be in the website here. Website folder, not original, because it should read the original, which was the original repo by Karpathy to understand where the eval script should be. Boom. So this is going to use Puppeteer to test the speed locally of this website. We should have the project running on localhost 3000. Let me see. So basically I asked it to create a simple portfolio website with Express and static files. So Let's see what it built. Here's what it looks like. Alex Morgan. Just a simple portfolio website. Like you could see this literally like 10, 15 years ago. Every website looked like this, right? Everybody who like is new to HTML and CSS would have stuff like this in high school and think they're the best website designer. I'm guilty of that as well. But anyways, let's see whether Codex finished this. Okay, it did. So we have the setup. So now let's understand the repo, right? Remember, there are the three main files: program.md, train.py, and prepare.py. So the original program.md looks like this from Karpathy, and he wrote this himself. And this is a very useful instruction, by the way. Feel free to steal this prompt into many of your agentic projects where you want the agent to keep going forever, or as close to forever as possible. But we need to kind of write our own. Okay, so let's go back into Claude Code, and I'm gonna tell it what to do. To cd into the website folder, and to install Puppeteer and run this baseline script. We're gonna benchmark our website of our expert Alex Morgan portfolio designer to see how fast or slow this is, and then we're gonna run AutoResearch to optimize the living out of it. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the results. So Puppeteer ran and it closed the Chrome faster than I could see it, or it ran it in the background. But basically we have the medium load time 50 ms, which is not that bad. So we'll see whether AutoResearch can optimize this. Okay, so now the most important part of any AutoResearch loop is the program.md. So I'm gonna go into our website folder, create a new file, program.md, and this is the main file. And actually we can use inspiration from Karpathy, say like, so read the program.md inside of /original, and then build our new /website /program.md file on top of that, but relevant to our website speed benchmarking AutoResearch objective. Okay, so we're gonna borrow Ondrej Karpathy's prompt engineering that he optimized quite heavily for his own project, and we're gonna have Claude Code rewrite that into our own program.md, which is going to be relevant to our own project. So again, feel free to steal this for whatever you want. Any business use case, any marketing use case, any make money use case, anything where there's a clear metric, you can create your own program.md, and boom, just like that, I use Claude Code to write 128 lines of instructions and to adapt it to this project. So now the program.md is highly relevant to this specific project. Okay, so I'm going to say, do this next. Give it a clear instruction of what I want Claude Code to do. To stage this, commit this as a baseline. So remember, if an experiment is successful, it commits the result into history, that tweak. If it's not, it does git reset and tries something else. Now I'm gonna say, read program.md, run baseline benchmark first, record results TSV, then begin the experiment loop. Do not stop or ask me anything, just keep running experiments autonomously. And there we go, we have our first AutoResearch loop running. Maybe I could have created a separate agent, separate Claude Code or Codex. And obviously you can try different agents and see which one performs the best. But as you can see, it's not, so look, slightly worse, looks like noise. Let me rerun to confirmed, still worse. Following protocol revert. Okay, amazing. So it ran an experiment and the speed of the website was worse. So it's gonna try something else. And this is the whole point of AutoResearch. I'm not doing anything, my hands are up. And even if I was doing this, first of all, I would need to be a solid front-end developer. And second of all, I couldn't do it so quickly, right? So even if you are a great front-end developer and you know how to optimize websites, you're still, okay, now it found an improvement. You're still not gonna beat an AI agent that can generate hundreds of tokens per second. So it found an improvement, look at it, 33 milliseconds instead of 50. So it already down 34% in a matter of less than a minute. This is the power of AutoResearch. Okay, and look at this, another one, 28 milliseconds, another 15% improvement. In a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, guys. Yeah, AutoResearch is insane, and I have a feeling that this is not the last video I'm gonna make on AutoResearch. So again, if you want me to make more content on AutoResearch, make sure to subscribe. And if you are someone who's building his own AI startup, you want to build a real AI business, then listen up, because in my accelerator, we work closely with a handful of founders for 6 months to help them scale aggressively. And in fact, for the rest of March, we are offering free idea validation calls. So if you have an AI app you wanna build, and you wanna turn it into a real profitable business, then make sure to click the second link in the description, which will take you to the landing page to see if you qualify for a free idea validation call. But again, this is only for serious founders who actually want to build a real AI business. That being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna let this AutoResearch loop run for a bit. We're already on 25 milliseconds. That's crazy. Already half in a matter of 4 minutes. Let's see where this gets. And yeah, I'm gonna update you on Twitter. So make sure to follow me on Twitter and have a great productive week.